Okay. Then I forgot my notebook the last week.
Okay. Pictures?
Yes.
Alright, there you go. Okay, Cuauhtemoc, let's
Yes.
take a look here. First thing, let's see. Have you had a chance to... Looks like you shared your document in Google Drive, correct?
Yes.
Okay, were you able to copy and paste the template?
I did it yesterday.
Okay, so let's take a look here just to...
I think so.
Okay. Okay, good. Now, the only thing I would add here is the header and the footer. So, if you notice in the template, we have this header up here.
Yeah.
And to create a header, you go into your own document and go into Insert, Header. And you can also go into Insert, Footer to add both the running head here and the page numbers here at the bottom, because the page numbers are in the footer. So try that. If you have questions about that, let me know, but go ahead and add that also, because that is also part of the template. And it looks like everything else looks fine as far as the formatting. And so you can go ahead and begin your literature review here in this section where it says title of work here. And you have each of the headings, so as you get started, maybe you want to include some of your headings here so you can organize.
How many there are?
Well, I have as an example 3, but
3.
You're going to decide.
I can add more, right?
Yeah, you can decide how many you need. I would like for you to also check out under modules for week 2, developing an argument. And I have a lot of information about how you can organize your literature review, how to form an argument, because that is what you're going to be trying to achieve in your literature review. How do you want to organize your thoughts? And all of this information on this page talks about that, how you can organize this. And I provide 3 examples in this video about how you can organize your claims for your research, how you can organize your ideas behind your argument. Okay, so this video also is very good. It's rather long, but it's worth taking a look at. And so really try to spend some time with this first, this page.
The models, right?
And it's in modules. And this is in week 2, developing an argument. And take a look at this before you get started with your literature review, so you can kind of have an idea about how you want to organize your work. All right, now let's look at your brainstorming handout from week 1. It says, wish to learn more about formative assessment.
Yes.
Because I want to find out how teachers provide formative assessment, how students feel when they receive formative assessment, in order to understand when students turn negative or they have negative attitudes, and what possesses them. Let's see, what processes are applied to formative assessment. All right, so that teachers can implement formative assessment. All right, so let's take a look here at what you're going to examine. Now, what aspect? Adelante. Hola. Bueno, tengo clase hoy hasta la 1. Entonces, no sé si puedes regresar después, entre como 1 a 3.
Nada más aquí entregamos unos papeles y ya, de los reportes. Bueno, un reporte.
Pero la verdad prefiero con calma verlo para ver si faltan algo y todo eso. No sé si puedes venir un poco más tarde o otro día.
¿El lunes?
¿El lunes también? ¿Sí?
Bueno. ¿A qué hora puede el lunes?
Aquí puede ser cualquier hora que no tengo clase. Entonces aquí ahí dice...
Ah, sí.
Y cuando dice también como alumnos, esa es una clase. Entonces aquí nada más tengo a las 11 y a la 1. Sí, nada más. ¿Está bien?
Gracias.
Ok, de nada, no hay cuidado. Entonces, So what about formative assessments? We have to think about what we want to examine. So what specifically
Mhm.
do you plan on examining with regard to formative assessments?
Well, I want to examine in the on the learning process of the students, on how the teachers can help them to apply different formative assessment. You know, it is a process in which the students are going to improve their attainments in the school. We know the formative assessment involves the teacher and the students.
Have you found some research?
Yes, I have someone I would like to check that.
Okay.
I think formative assessment is a huge topic, right? It's very
Yeah. We need to try to narrow it down just a little bit. In this research, can you share any ideas about what you found? Like, was there anything that you thought, well, I want to do the same thing? Like, there's something that you thought was found
Well,
useful?
I was looking just for definitions. I like you to check the article. This is in Thesis Seminar 8th semester. No, ese no es.
¿No es?
Está más abajo, es una carpeta Thesis Seminar.
¿Cómo? ¿Aquí? ¿O dónde?
Una carpeta.
Thesis, seminario de
Yeah,
tesis.
yeah. No,
Y-
esa está en español, esa no está en inglés.
Ah, aquí dice,
Abajo. Ahí. Ese
Okay.
es these are for Adobe Reader.
these four?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if they are kind of, or if it is the information that I require for the literary review. But I think they are good.
Okay, a framework for evaluating and planning assessments intended to improve student achievement.
I was reading the abstract. I think it could be a useful information for my literary review.
Okay, this article is not primary research.
Oh, okay.
There might be some useful information, but it's not a study.
Mhm.
It's all theory. It's a theoretical based. What we need are examples of, let's see about this one. What we need are primary research articles where writers have, or researchers have done a study. There's good information in this article, but again, it's not primary research articles. So let's take a look at this one. No, tampoco. Bueno.
I got them from EBSCO.
Yeah, but I mean, they're good articles, but they're all theoretical. This one, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is still not really primary research article. They talk about cases. They talk about case studies, but it's other case studies. It's other research. It's not that they've done their own research. They're talking about other authors who have, or other researchers. So what we want to try to do here is find primary research articles. Let's take a look at the virtual library.
Do you have some links which I can find some?
Well, I'm just going to do a quick search here. I'm going to go into EBSCO also, the same database that you have access to, and see what we can find.
How can I identify when they are primary research?
When it has a method section and it has a results and discussion section. Basically like what you're doing.
Similar the one we're going to do.
Yeah, you're doing primary research. And that's what you want to find, is other examples of primary research. So let's do formative assessment, and we'll do another key term, ESL. See what we can find. So here, first hit here, investigating university tutor perceptions. Take a look here. So, research methodology. This is an example of primary research article. And let's see, it says here, feedback is a key element in effective teaching and learning. The issues of how teachers perceive the role of feedback will impact significantly their feedback. Okay. Exploring. So this research talks about giving feedback. A factor, okay, follow-up interviews. And they're talking about tutors. It's tutors giving feedback to other students, or it could be other teachers. And so, you have to ask yourself, okay, what do you want to evaluate? You could do something very similar here, perceptions of assessment feedback. And this, there might be some things that you can use in this article, and you have access to this. If you just do this search like I've done here, let's go back. Formative assessment. Here's another one. Cooperative between science teachers and ESL teachers. Teacher views in conducting formative assessment.
Are they available?
Yep. When you do a search, Cuauhtemoc, here, the thing to remember, let me go back. When you do a search, okay, you have to use key terms, right? And you have to sometimes play around and experiment with different key terms until you get the results that you need.
2 or 3 options.
But a thing that you always have to select, let me go back to the main page, is this: full text and scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. You have to select those because by default they won't appear. If you select those, then all of your hits or results will be, it'll be articles that you have access to. If you don't select these, you'll get some that are just the abstracts, and you won't have access to the entire article, and that won't help you. So this way you're ensured. Now there are only 3 results with these search terms, but you can change the terms and see if what hits you get. But let's take a look at this article, and let's see. This also looks like a primary research article because it has the design of the research, and it also has a discussion section at the bottom. Let's see the purpose of this research. So here they're saying, in this context, what they ask the teachers to give formative assessment during the teaching process. In order to further investigate the effectiveness and possible problems of formative assessment in secondary English teaching, a questionnaire survey was conducted to investigate the situation from the teachers' perspectives. Views of the teachers on positive aspects and potential problems of formative assessment in English are examined in this paper. You can do the same thing.
Yes. Yes.
I think do the same thing.
Yeah.
Read very detailed about what type of questionnaire they're using, the process in which they apply the questionnaire, what type of questions, maybe they do an interview, and you could adapt or duplicate something very similar to this research. This will help you finding some examples like this, and this will help you. All right, so the name of this article is Teachers' Views on Conducting Formative Assessment in Chinese Context. I'm going to, today's discussion, all of our tutoring sessions are being recorded, and you have access to all of these. So take a look at this recording, access these articles in Canvas. If you go to announcements, in fact, we'll go to the home page. Maybe. I think I lost our internet.
In total, we need 10 references, right?
Yes, but I would recommend at least 3 primary research articles, and then 3 or 4 books from the internet.
3 or 4 books.
Yeah, and 3 or 4 websites. You kind of want an equal number of types of resources. So anywhere between 3 and 4 articles, 3 or 4 books, or 3 or 4 web pages, more or less. Well, yeah, I don't have access now, but
in which section?
It's if you go into announcements.
Okay.
I'm sorry, discussions. There's one that's called Thesis Seminar Tutoring Sessions.
Yes.
And if you open up that, you'll have a link to a YouTube video, but it has all of the videos. I'm recording all of our conversations, so
are they going to be together?
They're going to be together in a playlist. It says playlist, and you can select your name. It'll say Cuauhtemoc Week 2, and it has all the names of all of the tutoring, and you can listen to all of them. They're all open, but you can go back and listen to our discussions here and see the video of whatever we're sharing here. Unfortunately, right now I can't get into the internet, so I think I just lost. Oh, we're back. All right, so home. We go into discussion, and I have pinned this discussion to appear at the very top, but it's called Thesis Seminar Tutoring Sessions. And from here, you have access to. It'll start by just showing the last video, but you can click playlist and scroll down and select whatever video you want to listen to.
There's going to be my name, right?
Yeah, your name doesn't appear now, but it'll say Thesis Seminar Cuauhtemoc Week 2. And you just click Click on that, and that'll take you right to the video. See? And you can view this directly within Canvas, as we're doing here. Or, right now it's loading slowly because my connection's really poor.
What about the reflection number 2?
And then you can also open up, by clicking on this link here, you can see all of the same videos here. And if you want to view it, if you feel more comfortable working in YouTube, you can see all of the videos and select whatever videos you want. But you can also view them here. You had a question?
No, just I have a question about the reflection number 2. Are we gonna type the same questions you logged last week, or
yes.
we're gonna
So let's go into modules for week 2. Reflection 2. You'll notice it has the same questions. So it's really the same questions. It's basically what you accomplished this week, what you plan to accomplish next week, difficulties you had, things that you need from me from our next tutoring session, etc. So it's going to follow the same series of questions, and you hit reply and respond directly within Canvas. Okay, and the deadline for that is Sunday. Right, and you can see on February 9th, you'll see the respective due dates for each reflection here. That's it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
I think what we need to do right now, Cuauhtemoc, is that I need you to say, okay, this is what I'm going to examine, basically completing this handout. And if you notice, I'm also asking all of you, if you go into modules, student thesis list, I'm asking all of you to include all the information from this handout in this page. So just as the same page where you added your link to your Google Drive document, I'd like for you to enter the information for step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 directly from this handout. But in our case, I think you need to look more at 3 or 4 primary research articles to get some clear ideas about what you want to examine, your unit of analysis, and basically the research questions. What research questions do you want? Basically completing this, because we still need to get more specific. And think about, since this is going to be a language class, that you can focus on some linguistic aspect. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, any of those things, or any combination of those things with regard to formative assessment. So, how does a teacher provide formative assessment when correcting pronunciation? What is it?
Tengo que incluir uno.
Or if you're more interested in grammar, how does a teacher use formative assessment to correct grammar in class? Right? How do students feel about that?
Okay.
All right. You're going to get a lot of examples from the research, primary research. That's why I keep talking about the primary research, because you're going to get ideas. Take ideas from that. That last article we saw from Chinese, the Chinese context, I think there's some useful information there that you might get some ideas from. Because that's talking about teacher perspectives and talking about what they think works. All right? So we're not going to focus on what works as far as your analysis go, but if you ask a teacher what they think works, that's their perception, that's their beliefs, and you can do a research on teacher beliefs. That's a possibility. So get ideas from this. Don't try to start from zero. In fact, we never start from zero. We need to always base our research on what others have done first. Right? And that makes sense, right? Right? So do that, and I'd like for us to have another brief conversation before our next tutoring session next Friday. I mean, I want you to have 2 or 3 articles that you feel that you can work with so you can finish this, because we can't move on to the literature review until this document is completed. And we need this completed right away, before next Friday.
Okay.
Right? So you can start writing your literature review. Because we really can't formulate the literature review until this is very clear.
On Tuesday?
And Tuesday, that's fine. You can come by, come by with your articles, and we'll take a look at them.
Okay.
And at the same time, before we get together, if you say, I'll come by next Tuesday, before next Tuesday, I'd like for you to include this information here, what you're thinking. So read the articles and say, okay, I think this.
Reorganize and then...
And you put it in there, then come and see me, and we'll discuss what you have here and your articles. Okay, but I really want you to think a lot about the direction here, because if we don't get this right now, we're going to be lost for the next 16 weeks. All right, this is essential. This is really, really important. So spend a lot of time thinking, reflecting, reading, and filling out these 4 steps, because the whole purpose of these 4 steps is to help you narrow down your topic. Then from there we start for our literature review. So we'll leave it at that. You start thinking about that, do some reading, update this information in Canvas, and then if you want to come by on Tuesday, we don't have to set an appointment. I'll be here. Come by. We'll talk briefly about about these 4 steps that you have included the information in this page, and your articles.
Okay, to complete this one, start writing.
And I'll give you this. You can have this
okay,
back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At what time?
Let's see.
I hope early.
Let's see, on Tuesday, I can do it as early as you'd like. I get here at 7 o'clock in the morning.
7 o'clock?
But I don't have class until 11.
11.
So anytime in the morning, between 7 and I would say 10.
Okay.
What time? Do you want to schedule a time specifically, or just leave it open?
At 10 is right.
10's okay?
Okay.
All right.
Tuesday, 10. Yeah.
Okay, Cuauhtemoc, so we'll leave it at that, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay.
And we'll continue working out these details.
Okay, I'm going to start reading about the primary research, and then I'm going to try to organize this one, to type it, and then...
But only work with primary research articles.
Yes.
That's it. Don't worry about books. Don't worry about theoretical articles. And just look for the method and discussion sections. Así rápido. If you don't find it, then move on. Even if it looks good, maybe save it. If you think, oh, this looks interesting, maybe save it to your thumb drive, but move on until you find 3 or 4 primary research articles that relate, that give you some ideas that you want to do, and then we'll work off those. Okay? All right, Cuauhtemoc, well then we'll see you the next Tuesday.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care. Have a
See
good
you.
weekend. All right.